We are really using to ship cells during alive while they are transported, so they are not frozen. There wasn't also no solution in the past, right? So I think we are offering something unique. We need to overcome the resistance of changing a running system.
Our coverage of Meeting on the Med in Rome is kindly sponsored by Cellares. I am Federico Cittrich reporting for Onyx Live here in Rome at the Meeting on the Med. Today we took some time to have a chat with Bernd Mühlenweg, CFO and CBO at Cellbox.
Cellbox is a company that is dedicated to the transportation of living cells. And what we do is we have developed a solution which we call the Cellbox, which we are really using to ship cells during alive while they are transported. So they are not frozen, they are within their usual environment at 37 degrees or any other temperature that is needed. And there's also CO2 supply to keep them in a stable media surrounding, so that upon arrival the cells are vital, are happy, and can be used immediately by the customer who is receiving the cells.
So Cellbox is kind of tackling a problem that perhaps is a bit overlooked sometimes in the field. Is it okay to say that, do you think?
I think it is overlooked, but there wasn't also no solution in the past, right? So I think we are offering something unique. The available solution essentially is phase change material in styrofoam boxes. When you open it, temperature is gone, CO2 is not controlled, so there is no controlled environment. And what we have developed is really a completely controlled solution that is even GMP compliant. So we have CFR compliance in our solutions. We have a drug master file with the FDA for the boxes. So from everything from research up to regulated environment, this is possible. It has not been really overlooked, but it's getting more and more pressure in this field because more and more cell therapeutics, also more and more cell types cannot be frozen anymore. If you think about NAMs or organoids, mixed cultures, artificial tissues, all of those cannot be frozen and they require a warm shipment, a warm chain logistics. So it's us trying to fit this niche, which is still a niche today. It's just for me a question, how large is this niche today and how much is it going to grow in the future?
And of course we are here in Rome at the Cell and Gene Meeting on the Med, so I wanted to ask a question about CGT in particular. Do you think that as CGT scales globally, logistics will become perhaps a limiting factor, or do you think that the industry can resolve it pretty quickly?
So I think what you need to distinguish is the frozen transport, which is standard of today for example, CAR-Ts, and I don't believe there is a limit. And it's good that this exists because it also has its advantages. But while the field is advancing, I think this warm chain logistics becomes more and more important. Also even during the manufacturing process or for quality controls, where centralized GMP facilities may not have all appropriate quality control assays available on site where you need to ship this. So it's certainly something that is not biting into each other. It will continue to exist next to each other, but I truly believe both will grow. But I think starting from zero, the growth rates for warm chain logistics will be higher than for cold chain logistics.
And where do you see Cellbox fitting into the broader ecosystem? I mean, are you partnering with perhaps manufacturers or therapy developers, someone else?
So Cellbox as a company, we exist for 7 years now, and it's the first really commercial available shippers that we have now, and they're operating very, very nicely. And we are using this across a very broad spectrum, from really local customers, like pharma companies having a campus transporting from lab building 1 into lab building 17 while it rains, universities going from the surgery room to pathology or whatsoever. So this is a local setup. And what we are driving now, and I joined the company seven weeks ago, is to go into the more logistical setup where we go into the regulated environment. For example, clinical trial logistics, things like these becoming more and more prevalent and more important for us.
From a customer perspective, either biotech or pharma, what do you think needs to happen before they're willing to change perhaps the way they handle cell transport?
What we need to do is to establish the warm chain logistic market, right? Because many people today do warm chain shipment and they build their own solution. And you know, as everybody, you're resistant to change your solution, even if something better exists and can chime in. So essentially what we need to do, on the one hand side, we need to overcome the resistance of changing a running system that you may have established but is suboptimal compared to what we offer. Whereas at the same time making sure that our solution is adopted by the market. We have some good KOLs speaking about us, we have customers giving testimonials. So I think it's a give and take from both perspectives at the same time, establishing a market next to the cold chain, plus offering the solution or the full service to really perform the logistical transport in a safe and reliable manner from A to B.
And what is Cellbox doing at a conference like MOMED? What is your goal here, do you think?
So essentially there are two major missions here. The one is to get visibility, because Cellbox isn't, I think we have a great brand and we have a great brand reposition for the people who know us, but we are not broadly recognized. So that is clearly one of the missions here, to get a broader coverage. And again, thank you for having this interview, because they support this. And secondly, it's also to discuss with biotech companies, also with pharma companies who may require a warm chain shipment, either during the manufacturing process or once a product is released from the GMP facility into the clinical sites. Because that's where we can play a role with our drug master file with FDA, which we showcase that we are regulatory ready to perform such transports.
That sounds really exciting. Bernd, thank you very much for staying with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.